Hello, I'm Robert Thompson. Now, most of us have heard of school shootings at some point in our lives, and this is something terrible and truly tragic and a scar on our society. What if there were a way to keep our children safe from this tragic occurrence? Arming teachers would be a potential solution to combat school shootings because if there are more armed school faculty, then there are more people equipped to stop a potential shooter or gunman. Now, throughout this speech, first, I'll discuss how teachers being unarmed is quite dangerous in reality. Second, we'll talk about how arming teachers could prevent school shooting innocent deaths. Finally, I'll talk about what has been done to prevent such shootings. Now, school shootings have occurred many times in the U.S., causing many young, innocent lives to be lost. Now, many schools are actually gun-free zones, which ironically means it is illegal to have a firearm within these zones. This creates a problematic situation where a gunman or violent criminal is the only armed person within the school zone because they do not abide by the law. Allowing teachers or other school resource officers to be armed would allow a violent criminal or gunman to be dispatched quickly with minimal loss of innocent lives. Some states have addressed arming teachers while others still struggle with the question of whether it is a safe alternative. For example, states such as South Dakota have established sentinels. These are armed to protect students on school grounds. Florida is currently working on legislation itself titled the Guardian Program. This would arm and train a select few teachers for active shooter situations, similar to the Sentinel program. Now, these programs I've mentioned could be adopted in every state in different ways with different rules intact. The details of these plans do not matter as much as the purpose, which is to keep students and faculty safe. While many people believe arming teachers would put students and other faculty at risk, in reality, with the training the armed teachers will receive, it will be similar to an armed security resource officer walking the halls, which is done so in many schools as of now. One argument presented by those opposed to arming school faculty believe that because accidents happen, more guns around schools means more gun-related accidents could happen. This is a faulty statement because those armed to protect students and faculty are well trained routinely, so negligence would be avoided and occur very rarely. Another claim against arming teachers is that with increased drastic security measures such as arming teachers, scholars suggest that students will get the impression that all students are potential sources or targets of violence, fostering fear and resentment and other negative feelings among students. Marchbanks, Pajero, Varela, Blake, and Eason, 2018. This statement is proven wrong by the fact that armed teachers would have their firearms concealed or locked away except for use during emergencies such as an active shooter, so the students would not see them unless this emergency happened. Many people also believe that arming teachers or having police on campus would cause more aggressive behavior and feelings among students and faculty. But in this day and age, it is necessary to keep students and faculty safe. The fears and belief of anti-gun activists that I've stated are the reason why these tragedies continue to occur in our country and society. People must realize that gun control only leads to those who wish to harm innocent people being the only ones armed, while those who obey and abide by the law become victims of the legislation put in place to protect their lives. Now, there are many applicable ways that teachers and other school resource officers could be trained for an active shooter scenario. For the funding, so to speak, if the teachers felt as though it was necessary for the safety of their students and co-workers, then they could pay for it themselves through fundraisers. The training could also be funded by the government if states choose to do so. Rostron 2014. South Dakota passed legislation in 2013 that allows schools to create programs in which armed sentinels will protect school premises against violent attacks. States should take action such as South Dakota has and make their schools safer and more prepared against an active shooter situation. Now, this is a quote retrieved from Douglas Yachek's journal article, America's Armed Teachers and Ethical Analysis. In a report issued in 2014, the Council of State Governments observed that more than 80 bills relating to arming teachers or other school staff were submitted to state legislatures in 2013 alone. Mass shootings are a terrible thing that occur far too often in today's society. Arming and training those who work in schools, as well as giving teachers the resources they need to help students feel safe and welcome, is the solution to this terrible problem. And as the old saying goes, the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And in these strange and frightening times, we must keep our schools safe from this evil that plagues our society. Thank you.